Hey guys, this is Caspi with Tape, and today you join me for episode 15 of Fall of Kerbin, and today you join me at Osiris Fortress, after the battle for Osiris Fortress, and we won! Yes, we did! We slaughtered the Crew-Olans. Their 6 cruisers and aircraft carriers rolled in, and before they even got into range, well, one of them was in range, but before 5 of the cruisers got into range, 3 of them were under the surface, and we only lost 2 cruisers for the cost of 6 cruisers and a carrier. So here you can see the USS Fortitude is fine. The USS Mayfair took a little bit of damage to the superstructure, but held up pretty well for the old cruiser. She's holding up. It's not bad. The USS Osiris, a little bit of damage. You can see a little bit of deck missing. Some superstructure been hacked off there. But yeah, all in all, pretty good. The USS Valiant, our little frigate, took some serious hits, missing some deck plating, missing some superstructure, but actually pretty good. Yeah, that stood up pretty well. Brave little thing, doing its job like a hero. Yeah, I'm just surprised how well all of these ships did. We really slaughtered them. And the USS Spartan, no damage, because it be a Spartan. Anyway, so that was a pretty stunning victory. A bit of a foolish move, actually, making the invasion, because only one of the cruisers, I thought it was 3, but actually only one of the cruisers would be able to fire its guns outside of 10 kilometers. So, yeah, no real way for that to go down. But anyway, now we have a bit of a score to settle. After the failure at Osiris Fortress, his battleship and 2 of his cruisers laid waste to my southern fleet. But luckily, the USS Jupiter was home in port, getting rearmed and getting some new planes. And they're going to get their maiden flights right now. This is one of the Corsairs heading out to go and see the remainder of Penguin's attack fleet. Yes, the KUS Vulduv, the battleship, which was incredibly deadly in the battle. Battleships have become incredibly deadly. Penguin did manage to lose 2 cruisers actually, but I did have 5 cruisers and a frigate there. But all of mine were destroyed and his battleship only damaged. So, we get over there and we're going to prepare to dive bomb. Now, the Vulduv's pretty damaged. It's missing most of its main guns. It's missing some of its secondary batteries. But it has been repaired in that it has full armor. So some flak fire starts coming in, but it's nothing too bad because there's not a lot of it and it's only 1 ship. And we line up and at about 2 kilometers drop that armor-piercing bomb and get out of dodge. So that flies on in. It's actually looking pretty accurate and it slams into the deck. The Vulduv's a little under the water there, but I think that's just glitchiness. Anyway, the hit is good and it looks like we've done a lot of damage. Ripped off all of the superstructure, well, most of the superstructure, destroyed a huge amount of secondary batteries, but it looks alive. So we'll dodge some AA fire and we'll head on back for this with another one. I was hoping to get this done with just 1 attacker, but this is a battleship. It will take a bit of a beating. Anyway, we get a proper look at it. You can see we've destroyed a lot of the AA and put a nice hole in the deck, but that is not enough. So, we'll loose another Corsair. Here it goes, taking off from the Jupiter, getting ready to tear this ship to shreds, because we cannot have it in the oceans. We cannot have it returning to port and coming back to battle. So we get over here, we're preparing to dive once again. We've managed to set up our target because now it's in 2 pieces and we're going to line up. We're going to start taking anti-aircraft fire again, but there's even less of it this time and we have no problem. We're in a small, fast, nippy craft and there's just not enough AA fire here. We drop the bomb. It looks like it may be accurate again. And indeed, it slams into the deck. And oh yes, there's many pieces flinging off. But once again, the Vulduv looks it looks fine. I really should have just sent all of the Corsairs at one time, but I thought it would do a little better. You can see we've ripped a hole in the deck, but just next to the other hole in the deck. We don't know how much damage we've done inside right now. We're just running away. But nonetheless, we will be sending the final Corsair to drop some bombs. So yeah, here it goes, taking off of the carrier, heading on over there and getting ready to lay waste and hopefully sink this thing, because if it gets home, we got real problems. So anyway, yes, here we are, already diving. The day is drawing to a close, as you can see by the shadow on my aircraft. We've been at this for a while, but yes, the fire comes in once again. We line up our shot. I'm being a little braver with this because there's not too much anti-aircraft fire. We drop the bomb, we pull out, and we head away. Hopefully, Hopefully this will sink that ship. It flies in with brilliant accuracy right into the back, and there's a huge amount of explosions, things blowing up all over the place. We switch to the Vulduv, and it looks pretty damaged. We're not sure, and it hasn't sunk yet, and I think it still has some of the internals. So I decided to try and strafe some of those internals. So we start opening up with this 20mm. The arc of the fire will allow this to kind of pretty much enter the deck. You can see it's falling down onto the battleship, so it'll enter through the hole in the deck and hopefully do a little damage, because if we can destroy the boiler in there, I think it should be over for it. But anyway, yes, we'll pull out now, because luckily we're taking no anti-aircraft fire, because I'm pretty sure it either has no... Oh yeah, it has no secondary batteries now. But you can see a lot of things are heated up here. Maybe by the bomb, maybe by that strafing. The boiler's about to go. There's a bunch of stuff at the back that's about to go. And I'm kind of pinning my hopes on that. You can see they're heating up again, and as I'm flying around to maybe strafe again, we see a few explosions. Okay, we see a few explosions, and the ship slips below the surface. Yes, a lot of the ballast and the boiler just exploded. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's the bomb took a little while to heat them up. Maybe it was the strafing. But either way, the ship is sunk. The Vulduv slips below the ocean. Or the Vulduv? I think it's the Vulduv. Whatever. Anyway, it's dead. We win. Take that. Now Penguin has but 2 cruisers. But he is seeming to want to change the fact that he only has 2 cruisers and 2 aircraft carriers. There's a sneaky little supply ship heading south for the Beyond Sen, which is a ship I failed to sink a while ago. So we're sending out the attacker we have left over from last turn to go and deal with that supply ship. He didn't put it in the video because he's a sneaky bastard. He does this a few times actually. Once he tried to slip a destroyer into Osiris Fortress without me knowing. But I checked the map, man. What are you playing at? Anyway, so we find the supply ship heading down, trying to bolster his navy because he's down to 2 cruisers. One of them a heavy cruiser, one of them a light cruiser, and 2 aircraft carriers. I currently have, and at the end of this turn we'll have 6 cruisers, an aircraft carrier, and a frigate. So, yes, we have a bit of an advantage. So anyway, we start lining up, turn off the UI because it's getting kind of annoying. Well, the markers at least, and start strafing. We only have 2 50 cals on this, which will make it a little more difficult than if I was attacking this with a fighter, but we're also going to go into the main fleet after this and try and drop a bomb. So yes, we try and line up the shot. We get a few good hits, but we ultimately fail to destroy it on this pass. But we've got a lot of ammo. We'll circle back around. I could have used the tail gun, I guess, but it's been nerfed quite a bit. I imagine it would be effective, but I like the idea of strafing. It helps me, practice flying. So we line up. We get our shot all onto the bridge. We need to shoot the bridge really, because that's the weakest part of these ships. So yes, we open up again. Shots bouncing off, that's a good sign-ish. It means they're hitting at least. I'm hoping a 50 cal will be enough to destroy this, and indeed it does. It takes out the bridge and the back of the ship, which was housing the engine. So this is truly dead. A lot of the hull's a little too strong really, but yeah, pretty good. That's nice and dead, the Bjorn Sen, or it might not be the Bjorn Sen. Anyway, whatever it is, it'll stay dead. So now we're going to head on to the main fleet to try and take down one of those carriers, because now Penguin has 2 carriers, which is rather formidable with all of those attackers on board. We enter range. You can see there's some debris down there. One of Penguin's attackers crashed into the bridge. I think that probably was Penguin's fault, but I'm not sure if we'll relaunch that or not. Anyway, we start taking some fire early because we've upgraded those AA guns, the big ones, the 5-inch, or maybe, yeah, I think 5-inch guns on those AA cruisers. They start flying in early, but I'm pretty confident that they won't hit me. I do minor maneuvering to try and not get shot. I'm not worrying about the attackers right now. However, this was a misstep because those are 5-inch naval guns. Those are pretty freaking accurate, and some of them start coming in pretty close, and I wasn't pulling any kind of maneuvers at this point. I was diving slightly to throw it off a bit, but this is a full-on AA cruiser. It's got some heavy guns on it and some rounds fly in, destroying the plane before the bomb drops. So we're going to need a bit of a different attack strategy in the future. Anyway, moving on to Osiris Fortress, we are deploying some interceptors because my original plan actually was to fly some 3 fighters over to Valley's Guard and shoot down Penguin's attackers. However, we're still having intense glitchiness with the with dogfighting. The controls lock up. It's not related to speed or diving or G's, it just locks up, so we can't really dogfight, and it's really annoying. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna at least try and fix that by next episode. It's become a serious problem, so we're gonna play this defensively. Actually, we're deploying 2 S11 buzzard interceptors here to shoot down anything that does come to attack, since it won't be shut down right now. Because Penguin still does have some air force, which is a bit of a shame. We've also deployed another 3-inch emplacement, so I'll have to dodge 2 rounds at a time, which will be rather difficult. If I'd had this here last time, we would have done a better job of shooting down that bomber, although we did shoot it down, but we did lose both of the attackers. Yes, we also shot down the evil Carolan bomber. It was a very glorious turn, it just wasn't in my video. We slaughtered the Carolan Navy, we took down one of their bombers, which is a really intense piece of kit. And yeah, so this is much more nicely defended. After the bombing run last time, we had 4 light tanks left over, so yeah, you can see we've got, well, 4 light tanks. We also are deploying another tank to the city, of course. Still in Osiris Bay, here we are, just deploying ourselves a C2 Centaur, our medium tank, deadly as hell, basically bomb-proof, and with a big-ass gun and some front armor. Medium tanks aren't great for attacking cities because you have thin armor on the sides, but this can pretty much, we're going to know where the enemies are coming from, so we're going to face the heavy armor towards them, and this is a damn durable tank. So now, if the Corolans invade, they'll have to face 4 light tanks and a medium. Anyway, speaking of deploying medium tanks, here we are at our southern forward operating base, using the rest of our aircraft to deploy 3 interceptors, because again, couldn't use them for dogfighting, and there was nothing I massively wanted to bomb. I'm playing it quite defensively now, because we've got a big force down here. We've sent 2 more medium tanks, which brings it to a total of 4 medium tanks and a light tank. We also sent another supply unit down here, and oh, I forgot to mention, we spent our 3rd supply unit repairing Osiris Bay for £3,000 worth of bomb damage, because it's been being bombed a lot. But yes, we're playing it very defensively. We've deployed 3 planes here to defend our tanks, because we've got 4 heavy tanks and a light tank here. Now the heavy tanks, those are durable as balls. Last time it took, well, I think it had about one of them had £2,000 of bombs dropped on it, including direct hits from 500-pound bombs, and survived, and that's here with the others. And we have 4 of them and a light tank. And this is guarded by 3 20mm emplacements, a 40mm emplacement, and 3 interceptors with the minimum altitude thing fixed, so they won't be shot down so easily. So yes, it probably, hopefully will work out well playing it defensively, because I would have liked to attack more. But I'm sorry about that. We'll make sure we get that fixed real soon. But anyway, our final part of the video is deploying a couple of cruisers at Asia's front. Yes, these are Scimitar-class cruisers, one with 40mm secondary batteries for shooting down things close to us, and one with 3-inch secondary batteries for shooting down bombers or anything that may come. And also the aircraft carrier in the back, loaded with attackers, which are very fast and also serve very decently as fighters if we need to. And there's also obviously some basic emplacements here. So yes, this should be defended quite well. I am, again, a little sorry that we couldn't attack Valley's Guard. That would have been really put the nail in the coffin, I think. But these things happen, and we've got a really strong defense now, and I think that's important. You know, we've been throwing units at the Carolans, and this little glitch has given me a chance to be more defensive. But anyway, this is the end of the video now. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're happy that we sank that evil battleship. I hope you're happy that Penguin didn't sneak past me with a supply unit. I mean, come on, man. Did you really think I wasn't going to see that? I mean, I'm not that dumb. But anyway, if you want to go check out a couple more videos, there is my latest episode, Road to Colonization, in which we finally leave the surface of Duna with our Kerbals, getting ready to head home. And then, you know, just all that kind of fun stuff. There's also my most recent episode of Prison Architect, in which we build a house for my favourite prisoner, or at least start to. We see some, you know, fights, and also there's this weird, maybe racistly named prisoner, so lots of stuff happens, so go check that out. There's also links to my Twitter, Twitch, and Patreon in the description if you're interested. But as always, this has been Caspi with Tech. I'll see you next time.